Hello friends, welcome to the National Workshop on CSR UGC NET preparation organized by Botany for You. First of all, I would like to appreciate and congratulate the founder team of Botany for You for building such all-in-one massive platform for the benefits of the students. And I would like to express my sincere thanks for providing me this opportunity. I, Dr. Vivek Narkhedkar, Assistant Professor in Botany, welcome you all for this session on conformations of nucleic acid. As this talk deals with the conformation of nucleic acids, so let's first understand what is conformation. The word conformation refers to the three-dimensional arrangement of the atoms of a molecule to their spatial organization. To understand this, just look at the given example of butane, whose molecular formula is C4H10. Here you can see differential arrangements of the atom of the same molecule in the space. Such differential arrangements of the molecule represents the conformation. Here, first arrangement is line wedge dash conformation of butane, and second arrangement is Newman projection conformation of butane. To understand this topic of conformation of nucleic acids, following points will be considered for discussion. Why DNA and RNA are called as nucleic acids? What are the types of nucleic acids? Structural components of nucleic acids. Usual structure of polymeric nucleic acid. Unusual structure of polymeric nucleic acid. What causes conformational diversity in nucleic acid? Structure and the importance of folding in nucleic acid biology. Future perspective of nucleic acid conformational studies. Among all these points, you must be having some idea about the few points mentioned in the given list, but we will discuss all of them to understand the basics of nucleic acid conformation. The DNA and RNA are called as nucleic acids because initially they were discovered within the nucleus, so the word nucleic is taken. These biomolecules possesses phosphate group, which is a derivative of phosphoric acid, and because of which it shows acidic nature, so the word acid is taken, and by the combinations it is termed as nucleic acid. Broadly, there are two types of nucleic acids. One is deoxyribose nucleic acid known as DNA, and ribose nucleic acid known as RNA. Both are biopolymers, means a basic units of a monomer are attached to one another forming a long chain of molecules, and as they are present in the biological system, so they are called as biopolymers. On the basis of conformation and functional role, DNA and RNA are further categorized into different conformational types. DNA has aDNA, bDNA, and zDNA as a conformational type, whereas RNA has well known mRNA, RNA, and tRNA. As I said in previous slide, DNA is polymer. So here are various structural components of the DNA. As everybody knows, DNA is a long chain of nucleotides anti-parallel strand linked by hydrogen bonds between two strands. These nucleotides are made up of nucleoside attached to phosphate group, and nucleosides consist of heterocyclic nitrogenous bases attached to pentose ribose sugar. These heterocyclic nitrogenous bases are of two types, pyrimidines and purines. Look at image number 1. The parent compound pyrimidine is 6-membered heterocyclic ring which consists of 2 nitrogen as a heteroatom. You can see on the slide that how is the ring atoms are numbered for their positions. Pyrimidines are of three types, uracil, thymine and cytosine, of which uracil is only found in RNA and thymine is only present in DNA, whereas cytosine is found in both. Another type of nitrogenous base is purine. The parent compound purine is 9-membered heterocyclic double ring structure. Of these two, one ring is pyrimidine ring and another ring is imidazole ring. Purine consists of 2 nitrogen as a heteroatom in each ring. Here also you can see How is the ring atoms are numbered for their positions? Purines are of two types, adenine and guanine. Both of them are present in DNA and RNA. Second image is 5 carbon member ring ribose sugar. You can see on the slide that how is these ring atoms are numbered for their position. Note that carbon atoms of sugar are numbered as prime just to distinguish between the carbon atoms of nitrogenous base and the carbon atoms of sugar. The carbon atoms are the carbon number 2 of the sugar ring has different attachment in DNA and RNA. In case of RNA, carbon number 2 of the sugar ring, it has OH hydroxyl group, so called as ribose sugar, and hence ribose nucleic acid RNA. Whereas in case of DNA, it has only H atom. It is devoid of oxygen, so called as deoxyribose sugar, and hence deoxyribose nucleic acid DNA. Now look at image 3. This is phosphate group, a derivative of phosphoric acid H3PO4. Here R represents an alkyl group, which in case of DNA is deoxyribose sugar and in case of RNA is ribose sugar. Now look at image 4 and 1. While forming nucleosides, pyrimidine ring atom number 1 and purine ring atom number 9 having NH group forms the glycosidic bond with the OH hydroxyl group of the carbon 1 of the sugar by eliminating H2O molecule, which is labeled in image 4 as G for glycosidic bond. Now, while forming nucleotides, carbon number 5 of sugar having OH hydroxyl group participate with phosphate group, again eliminate H2O molecule and forms bond. The consecutive nucleotides in a single strand are attached by a phosphodiester bond, which is formed between phosphate group of one nucleotide and OH hydroxyl group of carbon 3 of sugar. This phosphodiester bond acts as a backbone of DNA, which is labeled in image 4 as PD for phosphodiester bond. These are various monomers of polymeric DNA and RNA. Pink area represents nucleosides attached to phosphate group and forming nucleotides. Above in image are 4 nucleotides in DNA and below in the image are 4 nucleotides in RNA along with their symbols and nomenclature. As only one phosphate group is present in nucleotides, it is called as nucleotide monophosphate. Just for example, adenine in RNA is called as adenosine monophosphate, and in DNA it is called as deoxyadenosine monophosphate. Likewise for all other nucleotides. Now let's see usual regular structure of polymeric deoxyribose nucleic acid. As per the Chargaff's rule of base pairing, purine always makes a hydrogen bond with pyrimidines present on the antiparallel strand and vice versa, where adenine and thymine forms double hydrogen bond and cytosine and guanine forms triple hydrogen bond. In nucleic acid strand, it is if it is a terminating at hydroxyl group of the third carbon in the sugar ring, then it is known as 3' end, while other terminal is 5' end. I will repeat it again. In nucleic acid strand, if it is terminating at the hydroxyl group of the third carbon in the sugar ring, then it is known as 3' end, while other terminal is 5' end. This 3' terminal end with sugar carbon number 3 OH group is necessary for forming bond with phosphate group of other nucleotides. Now let's see the morphology of the established double helical structure of DNA. It has diameter of 20 angstrom. It shows the presence of major and minor grooves. One helical turn of DNA accounts for 34 angstrom, and there are approximately 10 nucleotide base pair in one helical turn. So distance between two nucleotide base pairs is 3.4 angstrom. These are the usual regular conformations of the RNAs. mRNA has single stranded conformation where groups of 3 consecutive nucleotides are designated as codons. rRNA shows very variable conformation with bulges, loops, single stranded and double stranded region. Details about such structure are discussed further in slides. The tRNA shows very unique conformation with respect to its functional role. The structure of tRNA is explained by cloverleaf model. The tRNA molecule has a distinctive folded structure with 3 hairpin loops and that forms the shape of 3-leaved clover. One of these hairpin loops contain a sequence called anticodon, which can recognize and decode an mRNA codon and attaches appropriate amino acid to its 3' end. The D loop acts as a recognition site for amino acid tRNA synthetase, an enzyme involved in the amino acylation of the tRNA molecule, while T loop acts as a recognition site for the ribosome to form tRNA ribosome complex during protein biosynthesis or translation. Now, let's talk about the stability of the usual structure of nucleic acid. In the conformation of DNA, if we look at the structure of the helix, then it is evident that DNA is stabilized by the van der Waals forces between nitrogenous base, hydrogen bonds between complementary antiparallel strand, and the hydrophobic interaction between the bases and the surrounding sheath of water. Now, when it comes to structural stability of the nucleic acids in aqueous solution, the 3-dimensional stacking arrangement of the planar nitrogenous bases at a constant distance of about 3.4 angstrom plays a very significant role. Also, it maximizes van der Waals interaction. These base stacking interactions in nucleic acid duplex are partly interstrand and partly intrastrand in nature. However, rather than individual bases as a discrete unit, it is the stabilizing effect of base pairs that stabilizes the conformation. The degree of stabilization afforded by base stacking depends on the DNA sequence. Some combination of base pair forms more stable interaction than others. This sugar puckering is the very crucial phenomenon to be considered in case of nucleic acid conformation. The word pucker means tightly gather or contract into. Generally in pentose ribose sugar, all the atoms of ring lie in one plane. But in nucleic acid structure, it is evident that carbon atoms at sugar 2' and 3' position moves from its planar position towards the upside into the plane or towards downside outside the plane. This is known as sugar puckering. In this sugar conformation, the distance between neighboring phosphorus atom and the orientation of phosphorus relative to the sugar bases are also dramatically different. Numerous crystallographic and NMR studies found that correlation between sugar pucker and several DNA backbone conformational variables, both in isolated nucleotides and in oligonucleotide structure. Here, image 1 represents the general planar structure of the ribose sugar. Image 2 is about how the nucleotides are bonding to form a polymeric chain. Image 3 shows that carbon 3' endo conformation of sugar. Carbon number 3 has moved upside from the normal planar position of the sugar ring. Such C3' endo conformation is present in aDNA. In the same image, for C2' endo, carbon number 2 has moved upside from the normal planar position of the sugar ring. Such C2' endo conformation is present in regular bDNA. Next, image 4 represents the C3' endo and C2' endo sugar puckering in cytidine nucleoside conformation. Here in image 5, along with C2' and C3' endo sugar puckering, C2' exo and C3' endo sugar puckering is also evident, where C3' has moved upside and C2' has moved downside of the sugar plane. Now this is interesting, for which we looked at the and revised the basics of DNA. The regular Watson and Crick structure is also referred to as B-form DNA or bDNA. Under physiological conditions, the B form is the most stable structure for random sequences in DNA molecule and is therefore the standard point of reference in any studies on the properties of DNA. Two structural variants that have been well characterized in crystal structure are the A and Z form of DNA. These different conformations are not static entities. These structural variations generally do not affect the key properties of DNA defined by the Watson and Crick, such as strand complementarity, antiparallel strands, and the requirement for AT and GC base pairs. Now, let's discuss some of the characteristic features of this DNA. For this, just observe the image 2 and the given table. The A form is favored in many solutions that are relatively devoid of water, that is, favored in dehydrated conditions. The reagents used to promote the crystallization of DNA tend to dehydrate it, and thus most short DNA molecules tend to crystallize in the A form, while Z form is favored in relatively high ionic strength solution, whereas the usual B form of DNA is prevalent in normal physiological conditions. The A and B form DNA are arranged in right-handed double helix, while Z form is left-handed helix. Also, the double-stranded segment of RNA adopt the A form structure that is very similar to the aDNA conformation. In A form, the helix is wider and the number of base pairs per helical turn is 11 rather than approximately 10.5 in the bDNA. The plane of the base pairs of aDNA is tilted about 20 degrees with respect to the helix axis, while in B form the plane of the base pairs is perpendicular to the helix axis. Such structural changes in A form has deepened the major grooves while making the minor grooves shallower. While in Z form there are 12 base pairs per helical turn and the structure appears more slender and elongated. The DNA backbone takes on a zigzag appearance. The major grooves is barely apparent in zDNA and the minor groove is narrow and deep. Generally, certain nucleotide sequences fold into left-handed Z helices much more readily than others. Prominent examples are sequences in which pyrimidine bases alternate with purine bases, especially alternating cytosine and guanine or 5-methyl cytosine and guanine residues. To form the left-handed helix in zDNA, the purine residues flip to the syn conformation, alternating with pyrimidines in the anti-conformation. We are going to discuss this syn and anti-conformation in the next slide. Now, when we consider the in vivo occurrence of this unusual structure, it is noteworthy that the occurrence of aDNA in cells is uncertain, but there is evidence for some short stretches of zDNA in both bacteria and eukaryotes. Formation of the Z conformation unwinds DNA, thus relaxing the supercoils, which is a thermodynamically favored process. The ZDNA stretches may play a role in regulating the expression of the some genes or in genetic recombination. Now, look at image 3. When forming different conformations of DNA, it should be noted that the position of the imidazole ring of a guanine is profoundly affected by the conformation. In zDNA, it is located on the outer side of the DNA molecule with easy access to the N7 and C8 atoms, whereas these two atoms are more shielded in bDNA. This difference in accessibility accounts for the differences in reactivity of the two forms of macromolecules. Other than A, B, and Z form of DNA conformation, there are some unusual secondary conformation present in the nucleic acid. Let's first discuss bulges. Bulge loops are formed in the double-stranded DNA or RNA due to the presence of unpaired nucleotides on one strand. Bulges can have one or more nucleotides and are classified in different types depending on their location. If present in between the length of a one or both strand, then called as internal loop, or if present at the terminal position or at the junction of two strands, then it is called as hairpin loop. In DNA, bulge formation may provoke mutation due to the replication or transcription error. In RNA, bulges are found in regions important for protein DNA recognition or for the catalytic activity of RNA structure, such as ribozymes. Now come to the next secondary structure or conformation. 3 and 4-way junction can form in both DNA and RNA. Two types of 4-way junctions are found in DNA, cruciform and Holliday junction. Cruciform are intramolecular structures formed in supercoiled DNA. Holliday structure, in contrast, joins two separate DNA molecules and are involved in genetic recombination during meiosis. Cruciform structure are found in inverted repeats or palindromic sequences. Palindromic sequences are those that read the same in either direction, from 5' to 3' in either direction, either strand. Cruciform contain three components: the loops, the stems, and the 4-way junction. The stems are normally fully base paired in the B conformation and are not subjected to supercoiling. The loops are single stranded structure positioned at the end of each stem that contain two or more unpaired bases. Holliday junction occur between two DNA regions of homologous sequences. To be formed, Holliday junction require the close proximity of the two helices that lead to groove backbone interaction. The 4-way junction are involved in major biological events both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. If we look at the biological significance of such conformation, it has been suggested that transient formation of cruciform is a prerequisite for the initiation of DNA replication. Holliday junction are found during chromosomes recombination in meiosis, a major genetic process involved in gene expression and repair, which allows DNA to exchange sequence. I will repeat this point again. If we look at the biological significance of such conformations, it has been suggested that transient formation of cruciform is a prerequisite for the initiation of DNA replication. Holliday junctions are formed during chromosomal recombination in meiosis, a major genetic process involved in gene expression and repair, which allows DNA to exchange sequences. This is another type of secondary conformation found in nucleic acids, known as quadruplex. As it is more prevalent in the guanine based sequence, it is also known as G quadruplexes. G quadruplex is a unique structure formed by Hochstein type base pairing between four guanines and involved chelation of metal cation. G quadruplex can be formed by intramolecular folding of guanine rich sequences or by intramolecular association of two or more two or four sequences. In vivo, the presence of G quadruplexes has not been proven yet, but they might be formed in the guanine rich telomeres that constitute the extremities of the chromosome and are essential for maintaining the integrity of the genome. There are certain kinds of conformation that guanine may constitute, such as in case of intermolecular interaction, it may be parallel, antiparallel, or hybrid. Again, the same type of intramolecular interaction for forming G quadruplexes. Till now, we have seen the various kinds of conformations occurring in nucleic acids, DNA, and RNA. Now, let's discuss the reason for conformational diversity. The reasons for conformational diversity may be grouped into three types. One is environmental, in which nucleic acid is present. Another is possible rotation in the various bonds of the nucleotides and steric hindrance. As discussed in one of the previous slides, the A form of DNA is favored in dehydrated condition, while Z form is favored in the relative high ionic strength solution, whereas the usual B form of DNA is prevalent in normal physiological conditions. DNA is a remarkably flexible molecule. Considerable rotation is possible around several types of bonds in the sugar phosphate backbone, as you can see here, and because of rotation, thermal fluctuation can produce bending, stretching, and unpairing of the strands. Such A, B, and Z form of DNA conformation are found in cellular DNA, some or all of which may be important in DNA metabolism. Now, in steric properties, because of steric constraint, purines in purine nucleotides are restricted to two stable conformation called syn and anti. Pyrimidines are generally restricted to the anti conformation because of steric interference between the sugar and the carbonyl oxygen at C2 of the pyrimidine. So, these are the various reasons for conformational diversity in nucleic acid. Now let's see why these conformations are important in biology. First, we will discuss with respect to the structural conformational diversity. Just observe the various images shown here. The folding or the association of secondary structure of DNA or RNA creates a remarkable variety of different shapes. The three-dimensional architecture of DNA and RNA provides potentially catalytic centers and binding pockets for metallic cations, proteins, and other nucleic acids. Metal ions are known to play an important role in the folding process dominated by electrostatic interactions. Despite the diversity of RNA sources, only a limited number of structural motifs have been identified in RNA. In nucleic acids, internal loops and bulges are among the simplest secondary structure that creates branch points. Such branch points formed by the global folding may create a specific binding pockets for metal ions or specific target sites for proteins. Now, In case of RNAs, an important aspect of the biological activities of RNA resides in their ability to catalyze chemical processes such as formation and hydrolysis of phosphodiester bonds or formation of peptide bond. These natural catalyses are named as ribozyme. The hammerhead and hairpin ribozymes catalyzes the site-specific cleavage and ligation reaction that transform the oligomeric forms of circular RNAs into monomeric circular form. The hammerhead ribozyme is composed of three double-stranded domains connected by a single-stranded region containing conserved nucleic bases that are necessary for the cleavage activity. Whereas in the hairpin, ribozymes bound to its substrate constitute two domains termed A and B, which contain an internal loop flanked by the two helices. The folding of the two domains is independent, but tertiary contacts between them are necessary to form a functional complex. Metal ions facilitate the global folding. It has been suggested that the role of the tertiary contact might be to organize the active site in such a way that the reaction can be catalyzed by RNA functional groups. Now, let's discuss with respect to the folding interaction of nucleic acids. Methods based on RNA protein cross-linking have found publication in the study of nucleoproteins and the recognition of folded RNAs by proteins or peptides. An example of secondary conformation recognized by a specific protein is given by the HIV life cycle. The transcriptional regulation of this virus requires specific binding of TAT protein with the transcription responsive region TAR of RNA, a stem loop structure containing a bulge and present at 5' end of all messenger RNA. This binding of TAT protein and TR region causes a substantial increase in the mRNA level. In this, the role of the bulge structure is not sorry the role of the bulge structure is most likely to make TAT site more accessible, which otherwise present in dark and narrow major grooves of the duplex DNA. So, this is how foldings and various structures of nucleic acids is important in various bioprocesses. Now coming to the last slide of this presentation. In the last slide, we have seen the significance of various conformation of nucleic acids. Now let's see the future prospects of the nucleic acid conformation studies. DNA nanotechnology, that is the construction of specific geometrical or topological DNA objects, is a new field of investigation. The goal includes the use of DNA molecule to organize the assembly of other macromolecules for crystal facilitation or memory device construction. RNA and DNA are no longer considered as only passive carrier of genetic information, but also have been shown to act as active biomolecules involved in many key cellular processes. This functional diversity has been attributed to the complexity of the edifices generated by secondary structures and tertiary interaction. These sites can be promising target for designing specific binders that could modulate the cellular process involving this biologically active structure. Duality of ribozymes, which cleave other RNA molecules with high sequence specificity are promising in therapeutical practices that require the control of gene expression. The use of DNA in computing science is another exciting area of research. A self-assembly model of conducting based on uh, model of computing based on the different equilibria of BZ DNA has been already proposed. This is all about the usual and some unusual nucleic acid conformation, their types, subtypes, causes of diversity, importance in biology, etc. I hope you all understood the topic. Please let me know if you have any queries. Thank you.